Hello, hello, hello. This is Chuck, Charlie Chaz from CGM3 Productions. How are you on this very cold March 2nd day? By the way, greetings, March. Greetings, Pisces. Greetings to all March babies because it's very special today, obviously, or it's going to be special for me tomorrow, but that's more on uh, another another cut, so I'm just going to give you a clear entry. 54th entry, and coming up later on this week, it's going to be my 23rd round. 23 rounds of chemo for stage 4 metastatic liver and pancreatic cancer. And again, I feel blessed, I feel grateful, and I feel invigorated. I feel, alive and, working, just getting out and doing life, enjoying life. And that's the most precious gift on the day before. You see, tomorrow, which is going to be March 3rd at this time, will be my 59th birthday. Would you believe that? 59 years. And obviously, Mother Nature is giving us a whopper of a gift, and I don't know why Mother Nature is doing this or Old Man Winter's doing this, but he's giving me snow on March 3rd. And I'm like, no, 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 no. I'll be a skeptic. I'll be, like the last few years, I'll see it when I believe it. They don't know how many inches, they don't know how many things. So we could probably miss it or what have you. And, you never know. So let's brace for nice sunny skies, nice blue sky and everything else like this past weekend. Absolutely amazing. And it's just going to be an amazing week. I can tell you this. It's going to be an amazing month. Obviously, it's birthday month, March 3rd. We're getting into more of the warmer temperatures. And obviously, we're working on 23 rounds of chemo. Now, 23 has a special number to it. And I'm thinking more of the athlete scene. You see, also, we have many wonderful individuals. One that just recently passed, a man by the name of Ryan Sandberg. Ryan Sandberg. He passed away recently, but he wore number 23. And the other one is the legend. Now, if you know who the legend, you know who I'm talking about. The greatest basketball player ever, NBA, following his dream team, back in the Olympic days, Michael Jordan. So in one way or another, I am dunking this disease right into, where it came back. And yes, this is a big time win. Okay. I haven't stopped yet. I haven't give up yet. I haven't, making everything else. I'm making some accommodations and some adjustments here and there, which is a great thing. Now, during this time last year, okay, and I was celebrating my 58th at the Orange Regional Medical Center. And really, that's when the greatest gift was the procedures, the caring, and the most important thing, the greatest care ever from the nurses and the doctors and, the specialists that actually have. So, one thing that Dr. Pop did, he was a former surgeon and former specialist over Crystal Run. He placed a temporary stent in my pancreas. Now, there's like 2 or 3, 6 months later, I had to go back. And in October, I got the full one that's actually doing pretty well, to be honest with you. And it's working. So thank you, Dr. Pop. Dr. Modi obviously has been he's been true. He's been amazing. And the entire nursing staff at New York Cancer and Blood Center to the Orange Regional Medical Center. Now, I know I got in about a month or two, I think another month, I do have a CT scan again to make sure how the liver is, cooperating now. Is there any massive changes? And hopefully there are going to be good changes because I'm under this new medication, and sometimes, I get dry mouth. I get, I've been drinking a lot of water, water, water. Keep yourself hydrated. Even if it's natural temperature, always water. Hydrate yourself every day. Keep it going. It's like it's one of the best things ever, and it's like the best balance to gluten-free products. I mean, I just had my first gluten-free pizza, and I'm craving pizza because I'm watching movies. And what can I say? It was absolutely delicious with, you know, um, ricotta and mozzarella, and it was absolutely delicious. And it's actually from this year compared to last year. You see, last year I was in, about the hot. I was in Orange Regional Medical Center for at least about a month, and from February all the way to March, I was, if I remember correctly, I think it was the second or third week in March that I was, you know, I had the outpatient, and they released me to go back to normal life, but I was under doctor's orders. And yes, it's always good to be under doctor's orders because it depends on where the situation is. So, but I do remember last year. Now keep this, being 58 and all. I'm sitting there relaxing, and I often thought about cakes and sweets, and you know, I was like, I was under this diet, liquid diet, and they said, "Oh, it's your birthday coming up. Oh, it's your birthday coming up." And said the nurses, "Oh, we got to do something." It's like if you got a gluten-free cupcake, that'd be great, or something over cheesecake. I'm thinking about cheesecake because at the same time, a little strawberries, a little cherries, or a little blueberries because yeah, they're great antioxidants. And so I get the meal. I'm looking around. Okay, this was kind of good. And then they gave me pound cake, gluten free. Okay, it's not the same as a birthday cake, but at least they did the right thing. So I really appreciate it. But let me tell you something. It was actually great to get everyone laughing over there. And that's the best gift. Laughter is the best medicine because I told a couple quick jokes, and I should do a couple quickies right now since I'm here. And please, you're gonna love it. Now, if you understand the periodic table, the chemistry thing, um, and they're classic dad jokes or parent jokes, or you can tell your kids, this in the school and what have you. And this is like kind of it'll give you a chuckle, believe me. And think about it. This is the periodic table. Okay. So, uh, so anyway, we're working at the lab and everything else. And I came across, one of the doctors tell me, "Do you want to hear a potassium joke?" I said, "Sure." Doctor goes, "K." I shook my head and I laughed because K is the periodic symbol for potassium. Okay. So I got them rolling with that one over the hospital. Keep this in mind, I was in bed, getting my procedure done, and they were rolling. They were laughter because it was a long day for them. And I noticed how stressful you get, in that thing. So I'm blessed to have a really great um, caring factor from the nurses all the way, to the specialists and everything else. And then, with all the blood and everything else, and with this. And by the way, I'll tell you a little bit about the blood report, coming up in a little bit. And so I said, "Do you want to hear another one?" I said, "Sure, why not?" So, keep this in mind. This is the periodic table now. Okay. Think about it. Okay. Doctor goes, "Do you want to hear a sodium joke?" Rolled my eyes and said, "Sure." Nah. Just wait for it. Just wait for it. Pretty simple joke, you know. See, Na, capital N and small a, that's the symbol for sodium. So, you could tell your kids with it. You could, tell your classroom with it. You could go in, to chemistry and say, hey, you know what? And, butter up the science teacher. Definitely, butter up the chemistry teacher or chemistry instructor. If you're studying chemistry in high school or in college, butter them up with that. I think that, it'll make the day go faster and make it a good chuckle, and maybe you get some extra credit points. You never know. So it's kind of funny with that, and kind of lighthearted humor. And, that's what you have to laugh. People, there's too much going on in this world. And that's why I turn off. I mean, I listen to, one of my favorite stations that I used to work for, and, absolutely amazing that it keeps it going. So thank you, Eddie. And thank you, Bold Gold Media. Thank you, WVOS. And, keeping me going and doing what I have to do. And just, it's basically about living life and living, having a wonderful, and sharing with others, As a matter of fact, I have a card, but I'll tell you on that one, on the second thing. I mean, I'm getting some early birthday cards, which is kind of nice. Now, what do I go for dinner? Oh my God. Now I have a craving, either lasagna, tortellini, tacos, or London broil with prime rib. I'll let you know what I'll be having tomorrow night, but as long as I'm eating correctly, as long as I'm getting my protein and, eating, that's the main thing. And right before chemo, I don't know, but you know what? It's going to be it will be a limited time, because with one of the reactions that I got from, from the liver and the pancreas, well, especially from the liver, the side effects with cirrhosis. So this is why the two new medications comes in. I've been under this medication for at least about 2 weeks, 3 weeks now, except for chemo weeks. I took the pill, I took the medication for the entire week, one day, one tablet per each, and then Monday, and then tomorrow. Now, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is all chemo. And I kind of say Thursday 23.1, which is the home edition. Now, with the home edition, I'm going to explain to you a little bit more with that. Ever since, I've been under chemo a lot, and under these new sessions, I'm like, whether it's a 5-hour session or a 3-hour session or what have you, they give me a fanny pack, and then they have these the medicine, the medicine tubes that goes right into my port, and it goes right into my system. And basically, the medication or the system goes up there. So I have to wear that for 48 hours. That's right, 48 hours. So from that point on, like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which I think it's going to happen, maybe earlier than that, 11:30, 12 o'clock in the afternoon on a Wednesday, I have to wear it to the prior, for that entire 48 hours. Friday is my mini chemo session, which is infusion and the injection. And, that's it for round 23. Now, at the end of this week, which is pretty sweet, it's pretty much sweet, yet very special for me, because a friend of mine is having a 10-year celebration from an organ donor. And I cannot wait to see her again. We met again. We met, we were growing up as kids, and she's really, truly one of my heroes now. In fact, I have a couple heroes I got to tell you about. Again, one of my best friends. We grew up together in, right in the, it's the Big Hollow Pond Redison crew. Shout out to them. And obviously shout out to the Claryville crew in this region. And he had an effective heart. And thank goodness, a heart donor came around, gave her a brand new heart. And it's absolutely amazing. She's living life and she's pushing everything. And, she's truly amazing. She's a truly amazing individual, a warrior at that. So, and then the other one has a real beautiful stand. She is a beautiful individual. She's a model, an actress, beauty queen indeed, and yet she has a platform for NF. So yes, Brianna, I am talking to you, and Brianna, you are amazing. I'm glad we actually share birthdays. See, happy belated birthday! Happy birthday again, kiddo. She celebrated on March 1st. I'm celebrating mine, coming up on March 3rd. So, she's really a hero to me, a warrior, and we're both warriors. And really, she's an angel. And, and she's living a full life. She's going to work. She's absolutely amazing. Yet, we keep each other, compassionately, and we keep checking in. And that's what I say every time when we go to a session or just feeling like, blah, they always, they said, hey, are you doing okay? Or just checking in. A simple text, simple phone call can make that day, or even a, get well card or writing a letter. And this is just like, it's something, it's very special and it's a keepsaker. So it kind of puts the joy in, put the joy in life with it. So it's a really, truly a blessing. And, I'm thank goodness I have my small ring, and it's a really, competitive ring, because really during this time last year, I did not want to post anything until I'm quite sure of it, until I'm quite comfortable where this was going to lead to. And well, what do you expect? After 54 entries, after 23 rounds of extensive treatment, I think I feel comfortable enough and just say, this is what had happened. So really, during this time last year, I was at Orange Regional Medical Center with the greatest care ever. And that was like my second home for at least three or 4 weeks. I called it Paradise down in Middletown. And just recovered, watched TV, watched many movies. In fact, I was hooked on one movie that it was a animated movie, that I wanted to see through, the eyes of J.R. Tolkien. And it was very much of an art form. It was The War of Rohan, and it was absolutely fantastic. Now I know another movie coming out this year, which I'm kind of looking forward to. Actually, either it's this year or next year. The Search for Golem. That's going to be a very interesting one. And then I have to say thank you to Kristen. Before I forget, Kristen, you're amazing, because I got to see a little bit of the, series on Lord of the Rings. It's a completely amazing series on the backstory of where everything came from. Season 3 is coming up, so absolutely amazing, and it's a great adventure just to, get the time away. So, but it was absolutely, truly a treasure and a gift. And Kristen, I thank you for that. Thank you for being there and being so supportive. And really, I'm glad that you're a part of my team, and you're the best. And then to Amanda, my beautiful angel. In fact, I'm going to be filling in this on another video in a few minutes. What happened this past weekend? So it's absolutely, it's been a pretty productive weekend. What a great way for starting March. Oh my God, my birthday month is actually going to be filled to the cusp, because it's going to keep me going and keep me rolling, because that's the way I live. And it's like I'm getting better. Hopefully get a little stronger. We'll see. Hopefully a little late, hopefully in a few weeks I can get more of my items here, because I'm like looking around, and blessings all around, people. Blessings all around. So I really appreciate you. Appreciate the follows, the likes, the comments, the shares, and much more, because it comes down to me. I'm very inspired by you, and with my, my attitude in life, I got to tell you, I look it up and I persevere. And that's the other thing. That's the other point that I'm bringing up in the other video of, if you saw this. Now, I'll give you a brief teaser. Episode 7 from the Blank Dive. I was their guest, and guys, Charles, Danny, Benny, thank you for that. Thank you for the, great questions and whatnot. It's called Legacy. And, there's there's a saying, or there's another saying that I kind of brought that out, and just thinking about it, because besides perseverance, besides hope, besides faith, besides, creating, movies, whether it's a piece of art, whether it's music, whether it's DJing, or, your passions, that's a legacy. And it becomes legend, or legend becomes a tribute. And it means a lot. It really means a lot, because I'm putting something forth and using my, my know-how from the, from the years ago to put everything together. Now, since I'm like right now, I'm in this situation, it's given me plenty of time to really create and have a blast with it, and being around people, and being around, the ones that I know that, we keep on going. We really keep on going. And it was amazing. So again, episode 7, and I hope you saw it. If you do, where were you? Where were but don't worry, you can actually catch it on YouTube on episode 7, called The Blank Dive, called Legacy. Now episode 8, kind of give you a little plug. It's called Hats. Now I wonder what they're going to be doing about it. Could it be working hat? Could be a baseball hat? I don't know, but we'll see. Anyway, yet just an amazing week, just an amazing bye week, and medication, and being around the nice warm weather that we had. So but yeah, the entry is kind of complete. 23rd round's coming up, and keep raising that bar, people. Keep raising that bar. Getting up, it's a win. And not only that, don't give up. Don't ever give up. And I'm going to even include this on there, because I actually got, I was watching Gladiator to Sharpness. So I'm going to say, instead of brothers, I'm going to say brothers and sisters. And what we do in life echoes in eternity. And that eternity is a legacy. So keep that in mind. And always persevere. Always keep going. Have faith. Be the best influence to the younger generation. Be an influence around others that you want to be, that's there for you. So on that note, I am going to say farewell for now. I'll be around. Obviously, I'll give you an update by the end of the week, and we'll see where we're going to go. So otherwise, this is Charlie Chaz from CGM3 Productions, wishing you a beautiful day, a fabulous week. Keep dry, keep warm, and we'll catch you soon. You take care. Peace, love. Have faith. Always have faith, and keep the faith. And the most important thing, too, keep your feet on the ground, but keep reaching for the stars. Charles Chuck, Charlie Chaz of CGM3 Productions. We'll see you later on.